Hello everyone, welcome to Clinical Research Insights, your go-to channel for demystifying the world of clinical research. Now you might be thinking clinical research? That sounds complicated. And you know what? Sometimes it can be. But trust me, understanding the basics is crucial, especially if you're considering participating in a clinical trial or just want to be a more informed healthcare consumer. Today, we're diving into the heart of it all, clinical research protocols. Think of these protocols as the instruction manual for every clinical study. They lay out exactly how a study is run, ensuring things are done safely, ethically, and effectively. We'll break down everything you need to know, from what they are and why they matter to the different types and what goes into making one. So, what exactly is a clinical research protocol? In simple terms, it's a super detailed plan that outlines every single step of a clinical study. Think of it like a blueprint for a house. You wouldn't start building without a clear plan, right? Same goes for clinical research. This blueprint helps make sure the research is done in a systematic way, making sure the results are reliable and trustworthy. Now you might be wondering, what kind of stuff is included in this plan? Well, it covers everything from the study's big picture goals to the nitty-gritty details of how data is collected and analyzed. It's like a recipe where every ingredient and step is carefully laid out to ensure you get the desired outcome. The protocol answers critical questions like, what's the main purpose of this study? Who can participate? What are the specific treatments or interventions being tested? And how will we know if they're working? By clearly defining all of this up front, the protocol helps researchers stay organized, minimize errors, and ensure the study is conducted with the utmost care. It's all about transparency and accountability. And that brings us to our next point. Why are these protocols so important? Imagine a world without standardized recipes. You try to bake a cake, but the instructions are vague, and you end up with a dense, inedible mess. Frustrating, right? That's kind of what it's like to conduct research without a solid protocol. It can lead to inconsistent results, making it hard to know if a treatment is truly effective or not. That's why research protocols are so crucial. They bring a sense of order and consistency to the entire research process. Think of them as the guardians of reliable and reproducible results. By following the same steps each time, researchers can be more confident in their findings, knowing they weren't due to random chance or inconsistencies in how the study was run. But it's not just about good science, it's also about protecting the people participating in these studies. These protocols have safety measures built right in. They outline how to monitor participants for any potential side effects and provide clear guidelines on what to do if something unexpected happens. And of course, we can't forget about the legal and ethical side of things. These protocols aren't just thrown together haphazardly. They undergo rigorous review by ethics committees and regulatory authorities to ensure the study meets the highest ethical and safety standards. It's a way of making sure we're conducting research responsibly, with the well-being of participants at the forefront. Chapter 3. Alright, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What exactly goes into one of these comprehensive clinical research protocols? Think of it like a detailed checklist covering all the bases. First up, you've got the title and summary, which give you a quick snapshot of what the study is all about. It's like the movie trailer, piquing your interest before you dive into the full feature. Then you have the objectives, which are the specific goals the researchers are hoping to achieve. Are they testing a new drug? Trying to understand the progression of a disease? These objectives lay out the study's purpose in a clear and concise way. Next, we have the study design, the backbone of the protocol. This section outlines the type of study being conducted. Is it a randomized controlled trial, considered the gold standard for testing new treatments? Or perhaps it's an observational study, where researchers observe participants without directly intervening. The design dictates how the study will be structured and how data will be collected. We can't forget about the eligibility criteria. This section defines who can and cannot participate in the study. Researchers want to make sure they're recruiting the right people to answer the study's specific questions. This section outlines factors like age, medical history, and other relevant characteristics that determine who's a good fit for the study. Chapter 4. Now that we've got a handle on the key components, let's explore some of the most common types of clinical study designs you might come across. First up, we have the heavy hitter randomized controlled trials, or RCTs for short. These are considered the gold standard for determining whether a new treatment is safe and effective. In an RCT, participants are randomly assigned to different groups, with one group receiving the experimental treatment and the other receiving a placebo or standard treatment. This randomization helps minimize bias and ensures that any differences observed between the groups are likely due to the treatment itself. Next, we have observational studies, where researchers take a more hands-off approach. Instead of administering treatments, they observe participants in their natural environment, collecting data on their health outcomes, behaviors, or exposures. Think of it like being a fly on the wall, observing patterns and trends without directly intervening. Within observational studies, we have cohort studies where researchers follow a group of people over a period of time to see how different factors might influence their health. For example, a cohort study might follow a group of smokers and non-smokers for several years to compare their risk of developing lung cancer. And lastly, we have case control studies, which are a bit like working backward. Researchers start with a group of people who already have a particular condition or disease and compare them to a similar group of people without the condition. By looking back at their medical histories and exposures, researchers try to identify potential risk factors or causes. Chapter 5. Creating a rock-solid clinical research protocol isn't a solo mission, it's a team effort. We're talking researchers, clinicians, statisticians, and ethics committees all working together to ensure every detail is buttoned up. It all starts with a draft, where the research team lays out the study's purpose, design, and procedures. They brainstorm the research question, determine the best way to answer it, and meticulously plan out each step of the study. But it doesn't stop there. This draft then goes through a rigorous review process, kind of like a tough but fair editor scrutinizing a manuscript. Ethics committees and regulatory authorities, like the FDA, carefully examine the protocol to ensure it meets all the necessary ethical and safety standards. They look for things like, is the study designed in a way that minimizes risks to participants? Are there safeguards in place to protect their privacy and confidentiality? Is the informed consent process clear and comprehensive? It's all about accountability and making sure we're doing things the right way. And even after a protocol gets the green light, it's not set in stone. If changes need to be made down the line, maybe the researchers need to adjust the dosage of a medication or add a new outcome measure, they have to submit an amendment. This ensures that any modifications to the study plan go through the same rigorous review process to protect participants and maintain the integrity of the research. Outro. So there you have it. A crash course on clinical research protocols. They might seem complex at first, but understanding the basics is key to navigating the world of clinical research. These protocols are the unsung heroes of medical advancements, ensuring that research is conducted safely, ethically, and effectively. Whether you're considering participating in a clinical trial, working in research, or just curious about how new treatments come to be, remember that a well-designed protocol is essential for reliable results and participant safety. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, Clinical Research Insights, and hit the notification bell for more educational content. Have any questions or topics you want us to cover? Drop them in the comments below.